Hi, my name is Misty Fouquet. I am a medicinal herbalist out of Western North Carolina. I'm originally from Eastern North Carolina near Wilson. I have been an herbalist for about 8 years. One of the reasons that I became an herbalist was because I didn't want to have to take my family to the doctor for every small thing. When they were little, I wanted to kind of keep them away from the germs of being in the doctors. I also knew that me and my husband didn't have insurance, except for when we were both in the military. That was the only time that we ever had insurance in our adult life, for the most part. And so I wanted to be able to have something. I wanted to be able to have some kind of control or power over our health. So I started to learn about herbalism. The first book I ever picked up was, I think it was like Herbs for Vibrant Health by Rosemary Gladstar. It's so beat up and battered now because I used it so often. And then we ended up moving to Hendersonville, North Carolina, near Asheville. And that's where I got my start with herbalism, was with Appalachia School for Holistic Herbalism. And I've trained under a lot of really great teachers. I've done Rosemary Gladstar's correspondence course and Matthew Wood's. We moved away from all of the places that had brick and mortar schools, so I tended to just read as much as possible on different things. I would take a camera with us when we'd go on hikes, and I'd take pictures of every single plant and come home with all of my books and just try to figure out what plants I had just learned, what their uses were, where they like to grow, sort of thing. But one of the big things with herbal medicine is there's a lot of things that we can just do from home to try to help our families, and if nothing else, as mothers and fathers, sometimes keeping our hands busy when there's nothing in our control at all. Like right now, when we're in the COVID-19 quarantine, it kind of lit a fire under me for my herbal practice, because I can't teach classes at the local store that I normally teach at, Aries Moon. I can't teach classes anywhere, really. So I thought, well, there's been a lot of people from back home and all over the country that I'm friends with that have asked if I could do an online class. And so I thought, well, maybe I'll do some YouTube videos and just see how it goes, and if it doesn't work out, then it doesn't work out. But I definitely wanted to give it a chance, especially right now. I think that right now there's so many people that are just like, what do we do? What do we do? And it's pretty scary out there, if you let it get to you. And of course, there's nothing herbally that you can do to heal from it, or there's nothing guaranteed in this world at all, ever. But there's definitely nothing guaranteed when it comes to sickness. But you can try to do the things that it takes to stay healthy, right? Because that's really the only thing we have control over anyway. So, some of the things that they're recommending that we do is to make sure we're staying active, make sure we're not eating bad foods, make sure that we are taking good care of ourselves, getting enough rest, drinking enough water. These are all really important things. They're also saying things like keep high in vitamin C. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today. So a lot of people, when they think of vitamin C, they automatically think of oranges. And oranges are great for the summertime. They're great for when you need to cool down, because the fruit itself is a refrigerant, so it makes your body kind of cold. It's kind of like a watermelon does a very similar action, and you'll notice it in the summer. If you eat some, you kind of feel cooler in your body. But you don't necessarily want that action all the time if you are feeling sick. So, one of the things that I recommend to a lot of people, especially if they're wanting to get more vitamin C, and the reason I really recommend this is because it is completely, absolutely 100% free. Anybody who has a pine tree near their house has access to free medicine. It is 5 to 6 times higher in vitamin C than oranges. And it tastes a little like, it tastes a little piney, you can imagine, but it also tastes kind of lemony. It's kind of like a hot lemonade sort of taste. And this is one that I made earlier today. This is made with white pine, or Pinus strobus. But it tastes pretty good. You can feel it like move through your sinuses and open things up. One of my most favorite pines that I've ever tasted is from back home. They have a lot of them. The Loblolly Pines. That's Pinus taeda. And those have a super lemony taste. They're super yummy. So if you're from back home, you're really lucky because it's really good. So on top of having such high vitamin C, pine is also an antiseptic of the lungs. It's an expectorant, so it can help break up things. It can help calm the nerves. It increases circulation in the lungs, which can bring more oxygen, which is really good for things that we're going through currently. Robin Rose Bennett, in one of her books, she talks about how it eases loneliness and isolation, which is also what we're going through now. That's a huge problem, especially if you live alone or don't have a good support system, because we are very isolated right now. And another thing, just on like a spiritual aside, it's been known for cleansing of your home, which is why, we got pine sol, we got things like that. But it is also used in money drawing, steady money drawing. So right now, when everybody is not sure where the economy is going, having steady money, even if you aren't 100% sure if you trust that idea, I don't think it hurts any to put a little pine above your door, or put a little pine oil in your shoe. Also, aromatherapy, the pine, you can put the pine oils. There's different ones. There's like Scotch pine, and there's another one that I think is really popular. And you can put those in your, I can't remember what they're called all of a sudden, but I'm sure someone will help me out with that. Diffuser, sorry. But those can be really, really great. One of the easiest ways, though, to introduce pine into your life is just strictly in making a tea. So this one I've had steeping since this morning about 11. It's really easy to make. All you do, and this is white pine. It's got 5 needles. The loblollies that I talked about from back home, those have 3 per little section. But you just take a pair of scissors and you'll just cut them into small pieces and put them into the jar. You can use 2 teaspoons to 2 tablespoons per cup of water. I like it kind of strong, so this one doesn't have as much as I would normally put in it. And then you can just add hot water to it and let it steep for a few hours. I would let it steep for a few hours. You can do it a little differently. You want to also cover it to catch the volatile oils so that they don't escape, because those are important to the medicine of the pine. The jars or cups that you use, I would always use something that you can definitely fit your hand in, because they are a bit resinous, so they will leave a film in the glasses, which it comes out easy enough with soap and scrubbing, but you need to definitely be able to get your hand in there to scrub it. But you can also decoct it, which means you put it on the stove and you bring it to a boil and turn it off and let it sit for, and it's a little bit faster of a medicine. But otherwise, this works just fine. I'm one of those that likes to just make stuff and just put it to the side and let it do its thing. I tend to like easy. Anyway, I hope that you like this video. I hope that it works for the people that wanted to learn from me from far away. I hope that it works for the people who are locals who usually attend my classes but can't. I hope that you get out in the woods and get around some pine trees and utilize their medicine. Before I go though, I wanted to kind of quick point out the books that I got some of the information from. So this is Robin Rose Bennett's book, The Gift of Healing Herbs. It is one of the best herb books I've ever seen. It's really, really great. She has a lot of great information. Matthew Wood also has a section in his the New World Medicinal Plants. He's got another edition of this book that's the Old World Medicinal Plants. Both are excellent books. The Modern Herbal from Mrs. M. Greaves. This is a two-part book, but I highly recommend it because it was written a long time ago when they were utilizing these herbs as medicine for everything. So it's got a lot of like how they did things, you know, back in the day. But this is volume 2, which is herbs I through Z. Also, there was one more book. So if you were interested in some of the spiritual uses of herbs, Cat Yronwode's book, Hoodoo, Herb, and Root Magic is really, really great for learning some of the spiritual components of herbs. And always remember, a lot of the things that herbs work for medicinally seem to transfer over spiritually. It's that whole plant uses work along the same lines energetically. Anyway, I hope this video finds you all well, and I hope that you have a wonderful day. Thanks.